Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and this is PIP Mondaze. Goodness gracious me. Welcome back, and we have a packed show for you tonight. As usual, we always say, pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in. And also remember, God is in control. Goodness gracious me. So, it is election season, isn't it? It is election season, ladies and gentlemen, in Jamaica. And there has been a lot going on with the two major parties, that's the PNP and the JLP. So let's...
It is election time. I say it is election time. I say it is election time again.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is election time again. And we have, a kind of a more party spirit going on down there. And there's a lot of questions being asked with the two major parties. And you've got to decide if you're going to be voting in Jamaica. That's your decision, but you've got to ask the big question. So that question is, are you satisfied with the current government, what they're doing? Are you have they completed what they have promised to complete? And if they're making promises now, do you believe them? Or do you want to go with the opposition, that's the People's National Party, or any of the other parties that are represented, to make a change, to change direction, and also to make Jamaica better? So the choice is yours. So it's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm only gonna just go over it a little bit to show you what you're to get you thinking. What are you going to be voting for? Because you got to understand what you're voting for. It's not about parties like you see here. It's about making the right choice, and that choice lies in your hands. So let's continue. So here,
no matter how in blood man go run like streams, so that's what they couldn't demand all magazine. No make them put.
It's a festive season, for the election. So you figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. But over the weekend, that was on Friday, my daughter had her second birthday. I'm telling you, little Giovanna had her second birthday and her birthday party with her mom and the rest of the family. I was not able to make it, and I apologize. The doctors say I gotta get stuff done, and I have to be here. So, but I'll be down there soon to have a lot of fun with little Giovanna, and also let's look at that was a party scene. But you know what? Little Giovanna said, after the party, time come for she to go to school. Yes, man. She said time come. So she take up her bag and said she need her little desk and all that good stuff. Her mom had to go and get it. So she's now lined up, and she's gonna be getting ready for school, and that's her with her little desk there putting things together. The little Giovanna is serious about school. Very serious. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful thing.
Congratulations. Well done.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you also heard about Kayla, right? Kayla visited the Dominican Republic with the team, and they came third overall out of 30 countries that competed, including the United States. That's a big achievement. So I had shown a few videos in my last podcast, and also we saw Coach Jodianne. She was also instrumental in telling us about the competition, how it went, and also you got to go back and look at the previous podcast, the one before this. And I'm telling you, there was 3 three competitors that were from South St. Elizabeth or from St. Elizabeth that competed, and they all walked away. All seven contestants, the competitors from Jamaica, they were the only team from Jamaica that went to that competition in the Dominican Republic, and they came third overall out of 30 countries that competed. So they also got some gold medals, so some bronze medals, and so on. And I'm telling you, it was amazing, guys. It's so wonderful to see these youngsters go out there and also compete internationally and come away with not only just the experience, but they achieved gold medals and they also achieved um, bronze medals and so on. So the exposure was amazing for them. And I'm telling you, this is something that I believe that each school should look into. It's the gymnastics competition. And here's a team photo I'm going to show you of the whole team. And let's put that on stage. That was them in the Dominican Republic. It was amazing. They came third overall, and they had gold medals and bronze medals. And we say hats off to Coach Jody. She did a marvelous job. They had a language barrier, also leaving and going international. They had also little bits of hiccups, with the placing of the events in different halls and different venues and so on. But they managed to keep it together so that they could get the team organized to win third place in the entire competition, and that's a beautiful thing. You gotta say hats off to Coach Jody. She did a marvelous job, and I'm telling you, if you need to contact Coach Jody for your youngsters, boys and girls, that is, there's so much more they offer at the P-Night Academy, and that's the contact information for them. If you need to contact them, that's Coach Jody. Just call her at that number. It's a WhatsApp number as well, but you can always reach them on the web. You can check out the website. You know what I mean? Check out the website and you get the videos and so on of this last competition. And we're going to talk about it some more when they get back there. I think they're on their way back to the country, and I hope that that's Minister Olivia Bobbsey Grange rolls out the red carpet for them. They were the only team from Jamaica that went to the Dominican Republic, and that's a beautiful thing. They came third. I'm telling you, awesome, big deal. That's a big deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, today we should have I should have met with the Alpart hourly workers who are disenfranchised from their pension, and also the sugar workers. But that should have been in Mandeville. But because of my doctor's appointments here, I was not able to leave and go down there, so it was postponed. However, I'm working along with my doctors and so on, and trying to move my schedule to get an early date to get down there to meet with these wonderful men and women who have worked 5, 10, 15, 20, and 30 years with Alumina Partners of Jamaica, and also the sugar industry and other companies so that we can move our plan forward to uh, have the government and also the entities in Jamaica, the NWU, you're talking FSC, and if we need to go back to the Supreme Court, then we have to pull it all together and move it forward so these men and women can enjoy their pensions. This is unfair that this is not being that they have to be waiting for so many years, and they're not receiving their pensions. You get what I'm saying? These people are not receiving their pensions, guys, and that's unprecedented. It's not a good look, and the government should be addressing this matter because it's unfair to them. You know what I mean? It is hard in Jamaica in terms of cost of living. It is rough. And why aren't these people receiving their pensions? Why? There's no reason when you have an agreement. There's a lot of things that are being said, and I've read the court's disposition. I've read through the pension plan. I realized that there has been a lot of mishaps. Let's call them mishaps. Things that were done incorrectly that now causes these men and women to be disenfranchised from their pensions. It is time that this is dealt with. And I'm saying to all of these men and women, speak to your representatives. Start the conversation. Election is September 3rd. Now is the time. Each and every one of you should be talking with your representative from both the opposition and the current party. You should be talking now. This is the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's dip into a little bit of politics here. Because, as I said, your voices have to be heard. And there's a lot of people who are out there who are not sure what they're voting for. They're just joining the bandwagon. It's a beautiful festive period of voting, and you have a vote. But what are you really voting for? Let's look at a little gimmick video. This kind of paints a picture of what I'm talking about.
What are you voting for?
Me don't know, I sell me a sell vote. See you lot pan a vote. Me give me man a jacket and give me a coat. So me give him a tote, then him bring me a coat. So this election afloat, be afloat. PNP make house affordable. Cheap like the
So you're repping time comes.
Time come for the what?
Your colors.
Ah yeah, yes me. Big up market share.
How do you feel about the extra 2 hours given to schools for students?
Where's that? You want go school to where? No me there.
Labor rights.
You're choosing Jamaica.
For the what?
The colors you're repping.
Oh yeah.
Vote for Labour Party. It's a pretty.
Them give us school bus and the wheel and the bus go round and round. Road Isabella.
You mean Rhoda Moy?
Road me if the English pound.
Me choose Jamaica. Vote for Labour Party. We're doing good for you.
How do you feel about the other parties?
At what time? 1 p.m.
So why this party?
Me no know. Me even know who them. Big up Casey.
You mean JPP?
Yeah, them not a song. Link up for the dub JPP. JPP, we no PP. She wa we, we a lily, pan a C, we, pan a DDD. I'm in a TT. I wouldn't here. I wouldn't. How would that person? Marcus Garvey say, I have a dream.
You mean Martin Luther King?
Now the same man. Rastafari, Mali, Selassie, Africa, Ethiopia.
So, ladies, that kind of sets the tone of what I'm talking about here. That you gotta know what you're voting for. You gotta ask the question: what are these people doing for me? What has the current government done for the country that makes us better? Are you satisfied? Because there's a lot that's being said right now that things are being rushed. You know, a lot of rivers are being cut. Nothing is wrong with that. But after nine plus years, nothing should be rushed. It should be organized, planned, and well done. You know what I mean? And then you move on in an organized way, because it's been 9 years. Has the current administration completed what they set out to complete, and are you satisfied? There's a lot being said that about this current administration, and one of them is about the school buses, and then the other is about corruption. So, have these been addressed in the proper way? Let's look at Mr. Will Rattigan stating the obvious. Here we go.
Again, and this time we're not going to drive the bus. We're just going to talk a little bit about the bus, because we've heard so many stories about how we bad mind because we've brought this to the attention of the Jamaican people. The cabinet is responsible also. It's not just Mr. Vaz or Minister Vaz. The cabinet is also responsible for the purchase of these buses to take our children from the rural section of Jamaica to school. Now we have come up with plans that don't include these buses. They don't. But we won't talk about that today. What we want to talk about is value for money. Now Mr. Vaz says that the Jamaican public is getting value for money. The buses are in great condition. We know that not to be the case. It's not true. But what I want to talk to you about today is not the refurbishing, not the retrofitting, just the value of these buses. Now, as I mentioned to you last week, this bus cost, well, let me tell you what it didn't cost. It didn't cost 20,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 5,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 3,000 US dollars. It didn't cost 2,000 US dollars. You can actually purchase these buses at auction for less than $2,000, 2010 buses. And we're talking about Bluebird Thomas International. This bus, ladies and gentlemen, cost exactly this. One US dollar. That's the cost of this bus. And the gentlemen who purchased this bus, they were kind enough. They were kind enough to give this bus to me to say, listen, we want you to take this bus to Jamaica and make a donation for a worthy cause. Not for the travel of children, not for the transporting children, but for a mobile clinic, a mobile library, a learning center, a food truck, transportation for churches, so on and so forth. And also remember that if I had contacted them last month, I would have gotten 7 buses. This would have been the 8th bus for $8. 7 plus 1, 8. $1 a bus, 8. Now, Minister Vaz, I showed you my document last week that this bus was purchased for $1 American dollar. I'm challenging you now to come forward and put up your document to show how much you paid for the buses, because it's going to be quite telling. What's going to be quite telling going forward is that the Auditor General should make this a priority, should conduct an audit, and if the numbers don't add up to value for money, then there should be a surcharge action. And that surcharge action should be against you and the entire cabinet, because all of you are responsible for that. 1.4 billion Jamaican dollars. We believe it wasn't spent in the best interest of the country. See you on Saturday. Take care.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Mr. Rattigan himself. Now, what do you think? Because we're just putting this up here for you to understand the importance of knowing what you're voting for, and also the importance of knowing who's going to manage your affairs the best way. Because this is only one of the examples of mismanagement, I think. That's for my opinion. But what do you think? Put it in the comment section. These buses, I know. I've done my research. I know what the auction sells these used buses for because they're used. And if Jamaica's going to spend $1.4 billion for these buses, how much are you buying each bus for? Because they're only worth $1. $1, that's $1 is 150 Jamaican dollars. It's about 150, 155 thereabout. So why is it that I'm looking at these used buses that they've been sitting here? These are problem buses, right? They're old. But I look in Jamaica, excuse me, and I see brand new garbage trucks to take out the garbage. Brand new garbage trucks to take out the garbage, but the children have to be risking their lives on used buses. How does that make sense? Tell me if it makes sense to you in the comment section, because that does not make sense to me. You're going to buy brand new trucks to take out the garbage, but you're going to buy used buses to take the children to school. And the monies you're paying for these used buses is in the thousands of US dollars. When they're only you can get them at the auction by the dozens for $1. How does that make sense? Was that the best way to spend taxpayers' money in Jamaica? You tell me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong here. And I hope I am wrong. Because these buses, the auction sells, they're used buses. They're fully used, guys. They're used up and they're sitting down there for many, many years after they've been used. And they got to get rid of them. You get what I'm saying? So how come you're telling the Jamaican taxpayer that you paid X amount for these buses when they're not worth more than a few dollars here? I can't understand that. How did that come about? Did anybody ask them to explain that to us or to the Jamaican people, the Jamaican taxpayer? Think about it. While we're thinking about that, there's some other corruption issues that did the government address this? We had a debate the other day, and we have 2 more debates to come. And I hope that they address the corruption issue with the Jamaican people. I do hope so. And I hope that the Jamaican taxpayer is asking the question, what is happening with SSL? What is happening with all the, before I go into that, let me get into something else here. And you tell me if this is there any truth in it? I need to know if there's any truth in this. So let's check this out.
Opinion on the women in Jamaica giving men.
Hold on, that's a jacket business, but ladies and gentlemen, we're going to touch that in a few. But let's check this out. Tell me if there's any truth in what is being said here, because I see this as it's being advertised to the public as some the JLP corruption over a certain timeline, and this is serious. So if this is being advertised out there, I need to know. Tell me in the comment section if any of this is true, and if any of this is true, are you asking the question of the government to really answer the questions before you vote? So let's check this out, guys. And you tell me what you think.
The JLP corruption timeline from 2010 to now. Take a seat and get comfortable. This is gonna be a long one. October 2010. SCJ, Sugar Divestment, $43 million. March 2016. Montague. Used car scandal. Used car scandal in which 30 cars are still outstanding. Since 2012, this is valued at $100 million. September 2016. Nepotism, Spectrum Management. Nepotism and cronyism. December 2016. De-bushing scandal. $606 million improperly awarded right before parish council elections. May 2017. Grant of milk powder license and 15 acres of Mombasa grass on personal property. August 2017. Convicted criminals, friends of board members granted gun licenses under questionable circumstances. September 2017. Junction Road. Over $1 billion Jamaican dollars of taxpayers' money has been spent. As of 2023, might have to be abandoned. June 2018. Petrojam Perimeter Fence. Petrojam Perimeter Fence was built for $96.8 million Jamaican dollars. August 2018. Derek Smith. Derek Smith 5-year consultancy contract at $7.5 million per year through 2022. Total $37,865,770 Jamaican dollars. Saturday, August 2018. Nepotism. Trevor Forrest resigned as board chairman following revelations that he had improperly intervened in the recruitment process at the Spectrum Management Authority, SMA. August 2018. SMA Constituency Secretary appointed to board. August 2018. USF, a JLP candidate for Portmore MP, hired her daughter and paid her $80,000 without qualifications. September 2018. Nasol, $12 million. November 2018. TEF scandal. $35 million for garbage bins. December 2018. PCJ. Auditor General Report citing explicit acts of nepotism. March 2019. Petrojam. Wheatley and Myrie, May 2019. Free Beach scandal. $13.5 million. Property unsold and beach given away. October 2019. CMU corruption. $50 million of school funds for personal use of Ruel Reid and Fritz Pinnock. $676.8 million of unapproved salaries. Nepotism, cronyism. $122 million per annum for 4 officers. Traveling allowances for 119 students. $95.7 million. December 2019. RADA. 33 road contracts awarded without being sent to tender. $521 million. March 2020. Chairman Joseph Shuker authorized an $11.5 million payment to Willard Hilton, former MD of JTA, in March 2020, though he was terminated December 31, 2019. June 2020. Vaz, Minister with responsibility for land and environment, attempts to lease lands 7.7 acres bordering the protected Holywell National Forest Park in St. Andrew to build a private cabin for 25 years at $120,000 per annum. July 2020. Market Me contracts, not put out to tender totaling $55 million between December 2016 and June 2019. July 2020. J.C. Hutchinson. J.C. Hutchinson signed over 1,400 acres of Holland Estate lands to romantic partner and son. Stripped of agriculture portfolio. November 2020. Dry Harbor mining deal. Andrew Holness overturns the NEPA decision to not give Bengal Mining Company. January 2021.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is on, it's in the public's eye. This is public knowledge. It's been advertised. And I'm saying there's an election coming up on September 3rd. Are these questions being asked about these corruption issues? Are these true? Can somebody tell me in the comment section? And I want you to be respectful. If this is true, then all the voters should be asking the question of the current leadership to answer for these corruption issues. That's only fair. If you need the vote, you need to answer the question, what happened here? I told you, we looked at the school buses situation. And we're going to also look at the tolls being raised at right in the middle of election period and back to school. Why is the tolls being raised when children are going back to school and there's an election period? Is this sabotage or is it something that's deliberate? You got to tell me in the comment section, but let's continue to listen to the 10 years of corruption with the Jamaica Labour Party that's being advertised online as we speak. So let's check it out. Tell me in the comment section if any of this is true. Here we go.
UTC, nepotism. 11 senior managers were found to be unqualified, and one employee's salary was raised 600% in 13 months without meeting the base qualifications. January 2021. UTC. One employee's salary raised 600% in 13 months. Employee did not meet base qualifications. March 2021. JCDC. Nepotism. Trevor Nairn awarded $15 million for gala celebrations. Procurement procedures were breached. September 2021. Nutrition products. Lanatoid. Nepotism. $143 million paid to companies and individuals connected to board members and management. 12 staff positions were not advertised, and 8 members did not have the proper qualifications. October 2021. NMIA, Cypriot HAJ, site First Rock, $450 million, Cytoit. 2021, $450 million First Rock stock purchase. Hutchinson was a shareholder in First Rock Capital Holdings Limited while serving on the AAJ board when she voted in favor of the AAJ's investment and failed to recuse herself in keeping with the procedures of the board charter. October 2021. JCTE scandal. $124 million. Permanent Secretary Grace McLean Montague. Nepotism and cronyism. JRC Railway Corporation. Board member made head of HR. November 2021. Clarendon Alumina Production. Belizean company got a 6-month contract which was renewed 5 times for $225,000. November 2021. Jamaica Customs Agency. $664.24 million in arrears for 3 private bonded warehouses. December 2021. Heart Trust, NTA. Staff retreat to Moon Palace for $5.6 million. February 2022. TPD Co. AG report also found that there was no evidence that TPDCO had conducted feasibility studies nor risk assessments for 11 projects at total cost of 478 million Jamaican dollars. March 2022. MOHW, $13 million spent to retrofit a hotel that was used for COVID for 1 year. May 2022. TPD.co AG report exposed that 8 members of staff unqualified for roles with salaries amounting to 31.3 million Jamaican dollars. July 2022. NSWM AA for $5.5 billion spent over the last 5 years to third parties for work projects, but no procedures to ensure work was done. August 2022. Kamina Johnson Smith. GSC campaign. Government expenditure of $43.9 million. MOWH cronyism. March 2022. Absence of formal contracts valued over $400 million. November 2022. Transfer of $174 million to MLCD and NSWMA and did not implement measures to track the utilization of the funds dispersed. November 2022. NGO spent $14 million of the $20 million it received on activities unrelated to COVID-19 emergency. Grand total, $6,314,200,000,000 Jamaican dollars. October 2022. J.C. Hutchinson, conflict of interest and second nepotism charge. His influence in the award of state contracts to a company owned by his son. November 2022. Green Acres Police Station. $73 million spent to construct Green Acres Police Station on flood-prone lands. December 2022. NCRA boss intervenes and releases detained shipments of substandard rice imported by company owned by Chris Tufton. January 2023. SSL scandal. 200 accounts hit, exceeding $30 million in fraud. February 2023. Westcon contracts. PM Wholeness conflict of interest probe. May 2023. FCJ nepotism and cronyism. Minister of State Xavier Main engaged by FCJ for private legal services in acquisition of 200 acres of land from the UDC at Caymanas Estate. November 2023. Wholeness statutory. Declarations to Integrity Commission not yet certified and gazetted 2021 and 2022. March 2024. TAJ forks out nearly $400 million to lease buildings it's yet to occupy after 3 years. September 2024. FID referral. PM Wholeness's uncertified statutory declarations, 2019 to 2022. December 2024. Building permit scandal. April 2025. $31 million drill scandal. June 2025. FID appointment. Appointment of Dennis Chung as FID Chief Technical Director. June 2025. FCJ JLP Counselor referred for prosecution. July 2025. Old School Bus Saga.
So,
The JLP corruption.
so,
Say it again.
No, in the go side.
Kevin to the world. Great grandson of the founder.
so hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me
We're
get
at St. Anne's Bay, Windsor Road, St. Anne. As you can see where the water is coming up from the inner core of the earth, it comes up warm, salty, and bitter. Good for all aches and
Let me
pain,
get
circulation, swelling of the skin, headache, backache, stress, sadness, allergies, sunburn, glaucoma, cataracts on the eyes, arthritis. Any problem you have on this water, it comes up, rejuvenating.
playing in the background.
Because of the fire, there is no oil, no gas, it's natural.
But here's the thing. We have a lot of stuff that's being there's a lot of questions to be answered of the current administration. As you can see, if you rewind the tape, then you can see there's a lot there. But I need you to tell me in the comments section if any of this is true, because it's out there in the public domain. And if it's out there in the public domain, then the prudent thing for the current administration to do is to address these corruption concerns. That's the first thing, because you are being asked to vote for these people who are saying that they want to represent you. So even with the incoming People's National Party, they've got to also answer a lot of questions. So you got to know what you're actually voting for, because this election is your vote is so important. It's it shapes how Jamaica transitions into the first world and also transitions with the next generation. There's a lot of questions being asked here. And we have the PNP mass rally going on. And that mass rally happened yesterday as well in Mandeville. Did anybody ask the question? Did anyone ask the question, what are you going to be doing for me? Did these pensioners ask the question of both the current government and the People's National Party, that's the opposition? How can my problem be solved so I can get my pension? The sugar workers. How about the teachers? Jamaica Teachers Association, and if you check my past podcast, you will see that I spread it out there how the Jamaica Teachers Association have they're now lobbying the government to talk about their wages. It needs to be increased. And also the civil servants of Jamaica, they need their monies increased too. There's some cartoons out there that really address this in a very, very and let's get that off. I'll get that up to you. There you go. So in this cartoon, you see where the prime minister is saying we are prepared to make a credible and reasonable wage offer, but on his back, the ghost of the past assets filing. Why has not been addressed? You're the prime minister of Jamaica. You need to clean up that act before you ask for other people's votes. You get what I'm saying? So this is no joke. You can party all you want, but this is not a joke for others to, the debates went on, right? Yeah, the debates went on. And still yet, the cartoons are saying, hey, past asset filings, the achievements, and then the promises. Why is the government making promises now when they should have, after 9 years, they should have been listing out what they're doing, listing out what is being done, and then asking for more time to complete what is being done, because you completed over 9 years what you set out to complete. You shouldn't be rushing into projects and cutting ribbons at this point on a rapid, as if we're stupid. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So, what about your past assets filing? What about the corruptions that are being touted on social media and in the media? Who's addressing that in the government? It's the opposition party addressing their corruption issues as well. Are the voters asking the question? Why are you voting? What are you voting for? Is it for the party with the most vibes, or you want a better future for your country? I've seen garbage trucks that are brand new, but I see school buses that are old. Why is this so? That you'll put school children in old buses because you're trying to achieve something here. And you're spending so much money for old buses that only cost $1 in auction. But you're spending thousands of US dollars for those old buses, and you're buying new garbage trucks to take out the garbage. Doesn't make sense. Why is the taxpayers' money being spent by the billions, millions, and billions for that is for the wrong reasons, or for it's not being maximized to its full potential? So you're not getting value for money. Why? Who's running the show? You can pick up thousands and thousands of dollars to buy something that's real cheap. Nothing is wrong with buying something real cheap, but don't overspend the taxpayers' dollars, because guess what? Is that the reason why you bought new garbage trucks and old buses for the children? Because you overspent here? Is it sabotage why your agents have gone out and overspent the money? What is the problem? Why there's no government efficiency and oversight on the monies that are being spent? You have buildings that are empty that the TAJ, Administration of Jamaica, has not occupied, but it's sitting there and millions have been spent. These this is public knowledge. Tell me in the comment section, am I right or am I wrong here? Is there something I'm missing? Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to look at the debates that are going on right now. There was a debate that went on this weekend, and you be the judge of it to tell me whether or not these debaters did a good job. Who came away giving you what you needed to know? Did they answer the questions that's burning in your mind? Did they? These were the debaters over the weekend. How did they do? Did they answer your questions? Did you come away from this debate feeling more comfortable? Or were your questions answered? Who answered your questions? Who spoke to you in a real way and persuaded you to vote for them? Did any of these candidates, both in the current government and the opposition, did any of these come away answering your question? And I'm going to ask the question, why wasn't the other three registered parties represented in the debate? Why was it only JLP, PNP? Because we have a JPP, UIC, and independent party. They're all represented. They're registered parties in Jamaica. Why weren't they at the debate? That's unfair. That's not democracy here. You get what I'm saying? This is not right. Why weren't they at the debate? I can't understand this. That's wrong. Because if you have 5 registered parties and only 2 is represented, what is the message you're sending? Because they're on the ballot. So why weren't they at the debate? They should have been at the debate. Am I missing something here? What went wrong? So let's tell me in the comment section, because this does not look right. So I ask you to ask the right questions and choose wisely who you're going to be voting for in this election. It is absolutely important that you know what the reason why you're voting and who you're voting for, because the future of Jamaica and the Jamaican population rests in your hands. You have to decide which of these 5 registered parties you're going to be voting for and who you want to lead the country and why. There's so much out there that you need to ask the question. Ladies and gentlemen, the cost of living in Jamaica, if in case you don't know, far exceeds the cost of living here in the United States. It far exceeds it. Because I've been there recently, a few days ago. And over the last 10 years, it has been increasing exponentially. What is being done for that? I'm waiting for the other 2 debates to hear about the economy, the next debate, about the leadership, where they're going to be taking Jamaica, in what direction, how they're going to solve this problem. A basket of goods in Jamaica is far out of far reach of the average person. Ladies and gentlemen, let's choose wisely. Choose wisely. Vote wisely. Ask the questions. This is the time. Get the answers that you need, and then you vote for those you want to lead. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to the next topic. This is PIP Mondaze, ladies and gentlemen. And this is RAMP Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. So PIP Mondaze is every Monday. So let's touch on a little bit of immigration. And we're talking about immigration. Asylum is not dead, as a lot of people think, because a lot of millions and millions came through the border seeking asylum. But if your asylum case is genuine, then you stand a good chance of succeeding with the U.S. government to get your asylum case approved. But it's a process and a procedure that you have to follow. So let me share my screen with Attorney McBean to go over that for you, because it's not dead. A lot of people think that asylum is actually dead, but it ain't. So it's something that you can still achieve here, but you have to be able to prove your case to show that you have a real asylum case. Some people came through the border and they think they can just jump in and tell a story and that's it. It doesn't work like that. So let's figure this out with Attorney McBean about asylum.
Asylum isn't dead, okay? It still works. You've just got to know what you're doing. As a matter of fact, what I'm hearing today is that for individuals who were on one of those Biden parole programs or TPS, who recently applied for asylum. When I say recently, I mean maybe sometime in the spring, that some of those individuals are being called in for interviews right now. So that's like record speed. I think the government is attempting to weed out some of those asylum applicants, obviously, by calling them in so quickly for an interview. And then if they're not approved, then obviously they are placed in removal proceedings. Also, another thing that's happening in immigration court is that some judges are looking at the asylum cases, and if they don't see any evidence, they will make a decision that you are not eligible. Removal order.
So you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not that. You just have to be able to bring the proof and have a genuine case. Don't just turn up and say, I'm going to file asylum. It doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying? So whatever they're telling you out there, if you have a genuine case and you got to have proof. You got to be able to prove it. So asylum is not dead. And also I got a few questions about dual citizenship. Dual citizenship, a lot of people are confused about it because they've been hearing a lot of rumors. So we're going to ask attorney Brad Bernstein to come on here and tell you about dual citizenship. So those who are unaware, let Brad tell you about it. Here we go.
Automatically, when you naturalize to become a U.S. citizen, there's nothing you need to do. You automatically become a dual citizen of.
Here we go.
Dual citizenship happens automatically when you naturalize to become a U.S. citizen. There's nothing you need to do. You automatically become a dual citizen of your home country and the United States. The only thing you need to do is check with your home country, the country that you are a citizen of at the moment, and make sure they allow dual citizenship. For example, I know Japan does not allow dual citizenship, or some other countries you have to request the dual citizenship, like Germany, and get that approval for the dual citizenship before you naturalize. Other countries also don't care, like the US. For instance, you can be a dual citizen of US and Canada. You can be citizen of 3 countries, US, Canada, and the UK. 4 countries, Canada, US, UK, and Jamaica, or as many countries as you can become a citizen of, as long as they don't care that you're a citizen of another country. Dual citizenship happens automatically when you naturalize to be.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there. And there's also, when you become a citizen of the United States, you remember that for those who are citizens, you remember that Pledge of Allegiance? You remember that Pledge of Allegiance? Okay. So, for those who are seeking green cards, there's a loyalty that you have to show to the United States. And that's even if you're going to get a visa. And there, you have to have good moral character in order to get citizenship these days. Things have changed. It's not business as usual. So that good moral character is necessary in order for you to get your citizenship these days. So let's look into that, guys, because this is a big, big deal. Things have changed. So let's check that out. Here we go. Let's get that on stage here.
Today we're uncovering a major change that is quietly reshaping immigration in America, a change that goes far beyond paperwork or interviews. For years, the immigration process was about forms, documents, background checks, and proving eligibility under the law. But now, something deeper is happening. Immigration is no longer just about rules on paper. It's becoming a test of loyalty, values, and personal beliefs. This new shift is already leaving families, workers, and future citizens wondering if their dreams of America are now at risk. Imagine this: you've waited years for a green card, or you're renewing your work permit, or preparing for your naturalization interview. In the past, the focus was clear: no serious crimes, pay your taxes, follow the rules, and you were on track. But under the new USCIS guidance, your application may now be judged not just on what you've done, but on who you are, what you believe, and whether your life reflects what officials call good moral character and American civic values. That sounds simple, but in practice it is incredibly subjective. It gives officers wide discretion to look into your past, your online activity, your community involvement, and even your personal opinions. Applicants across the country are now asking, what if something I posted online years ago comes back to haunt me? What if I attended a protest or criticized government policies? Could that be seen as un-American? The reality is, yes, it could. Officers are being told to watch for so-called anti-American views, and the fear in immigrant communities is very real. Something as innocent as a frustrated tweet, a protest photo, or a heated opinion could suddenly become a reason for delay, or worse, denial. For people who have spent years in backlogs, this is not just another policy, it's life-changing. Take asylum seekers as an example. For many, work permits are their only way to survive while waiting years for their case to be decided. Under new proposals, asylum seekers could face delayed or denied work permits until their cases are fully resolved, a process that often takes years. Now, add loyalty checks and moral character reviews to the process. Instead of being able to work and support their families, many could be left without income, stuck in limbo, and pushed into financial hardship. For families who rely on work permits as their lifeline, this is not just red tape, it's survival at stake. And the same goes for naturalization.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you can rewind this and look back at the podcast, but things have changed in a way that you have to be careful what you say and put out there in the World Wide Web, because it's there forever. So they can look back on your years back in your history, and they have what you call facial recognition, voice recognition. So if you try to hide it, then if they find out years down the line, then there goes your benefit. You could lose your status because you lied or did not tell them. You get what I'm saying? So things have changed in a way now that you got to be circumspect in what you do. Be careful of what you do. Okay, let's continue to listen to this and we'll move on. Here we go.
For decades, proving good moral character meant avoiding crimes, paying taxes, and following the law. But now, USCIS has expanded that definition. Officers can look into your entire lifestyle. Your reputation, your volunteer work, your financial responsibility, even how much you've engaged in your community. That means a green card holder who has worked hard, paid taxes, and raised a family might now be asked for more. Did you volunteer? Did you give back? Did you demonstrate civic values? These new standards create moving goalposts, where even small mistakes, like unpaid debts, a traffic offense, or a work dispute, could weigh more heavily against you. This has turned naturalization from a legal process into a character judgment, one that depends on how an officer interprets your life. Processing times that were already long could now become even longer, with more requests for evidence and more scrutiny. Families already stuck in NVC backlogs or waiting for interview slots now face yet another layer of uncertainty. It's not just about waiting anymore, it's about passing a loyalty test that isn't clearly defined. What makes this even more concerning is how it intersects with politics. Supporters of the policy say it protects American values. Critics argue it's a hidden way to reduce immigration without outright bans. Instead of blocking people at the border, the system now blocks them from within. Through subjective denials, delays, and roadblocks that keep people from ever completing their journey. It's not a visible wall, but it is just as effective at keeping people out. Think about a young dreamer applying for a green card after years of living in the U.S. They've studied here, worked here, and contributed here. But an officer reviews their online history and finds old posts critical of government policies. Suddenly, the officer questions whether those posts reflect anti-American beliefs. Does that mean the dreamer doesn't deserve permanent residency? Should their entire future be judged on old social media opinions? That's the new reality. Families are also under pressure. Parents waiting in the family preference categories already live with the fear of children aging out because of long visa timelines. Now, on top of that, they have to worry about USCIS questioning their household's moral character. Are they volunteering? Are they civically engaged? Are they seen as good Americans even before they become citizens? This adds a double burden on families who already wait years for their turn in line. Advocates warn that these changes will silence immigrants instead of empowering them. People may avoid speaking freely, posting online, or participating in civic activities out of fear it could be used against them later. Rather than integration, this fosters silence, fear, and mistrust. Instead of streamlining the process, it creates delays and denials. And instead of recognizing the contributions immigrants already make, it forces them to prove loyalty over and over again. So what can you do if you are applying now or preparing for the future? Be proactive. Review your online presence. Collect evidence that highlights your positive contributions, your work history, your taxes, your role in your community. Talk to an attorney if you suspect your history could raise red flags. Most importantly, stay informed, because immigration policy often shifts quietly, but the impact lasts for years. This is why we share these updates with you. The immigration journey is already stressful, and policies like these add another layer of uncertainty. But knowledge is power. The more you know, the better prepared you are to face these changes head-on. If you found this breakdown helpful and you want to stay updated on everything affecting visas, green cards, and citizenship, make sure to hit subscribe to US Visa link.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. And to stay informed and know before you go, I say, I'm going to touch about 10 things that you should avoid. Let's look at 10 changes that have been made. That I'm going to look at some things that you should some mistakes that you should avoid. So let's look at the 10 changes. These are absolutely important that you check these out. So let's check this out. These 10 changes you should check out, guys, because it's amazing what is going on out here in the land of immigration. And let's draw on attorney Brad Bernstein to talk about that.
Here are 10 big immigration changes you need to know about right now. Employment-based visa petitions are taking longer, especially national interest waivers. There are new rules for expediting I-130s abroad. USCIS is now denying immigration cases without RFEs or NOIDs. Family visa petition backlogs are getting longer. TPS is ending for multiple countries, including Venezuela, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Haiti, absent federal litigation. Parole is ending for multiple countries as well. New massive detention centers are being planned for Texas and Florida. Lake and Riley Act passed, making mandatory detention for certain criminals. Trump is attacking birthright citizenship. Trump is mentioning gold cards for investors, special immigrant visas for agricultural workers and some other groups. But nothing's happened yet, just talk. And everything is pointing to stricter immigration, more detention, less immigration. So follow me for immigration updates every day.
Here you go, guys. Those are 10 changes. You can rewind and listen to it again. Check it out. So let's look at things that you should avoid, especially if you're here and you're married. This question came up earlier today, so I want to address that. So just avoid these mistakes. Let's go. Let's get Attorney McBean on here to explain that to you quickly. Here we go. Let's go.
Avoid this immigration mistake with the removal of conditions process, friends. I've seen this happen so many times. The mistake is this. You start your case as a jointly filed I-751 petition with your spouse. And shortly after filing, you guys separate, you go your own way. And now you're in this 48-month extension period, waiting for a decision on your case. And you make the decision, you know what, it just doesn't make sense to be like this anymore in this relationship. We're not living together. Let's go ahead and get a divorce. So you file for divorce while you're still waiting on your petition to be approved. And you make no moves with immigration. You don't upgrade, change your case. You don't convert it to a single or a waiver type of case whereby the government can make the decision on your case, knowing that it's just you now. It's not you and your spouse any longer. It's just you. You don't update them. You don't convert your case. And then they go ahead and approve it. They don't call you in for an interview. They know nothing about the divorce because they've never done any further investigation into things. They think you're still married, you're still together, happily with your spouse. That's what they're thinking, and they're wrong. And they make this decision, and you know that they've made this decision by error because they weren't supposed to approve it, a jointly filed petition when you're no longer with your spouse, particularly if you're divorced. And where they catch this, guys, they catch it during the naturalization phase. When you apply for naturalization and you put on that form your divorce date, and they look back at their file and see that they approved your jointly filed I-751 after they approve it after the divorce, they're going to call you in and drill down and deny your naturalization case and possibly place you in removal proceedings. We could help in those situations. Of course, we've had cases like this over the years, so this is not our first rodeo. We know how to handle cases like this, but avoid this mistake so that it does not tie you up for years to come. And also, process of converting your case to an I-751 waiver can be a little tricky. You want to make sure that you work with a good, solid professional with experience doing this type of filing. Avoid this immigration.
So there you go. Avoid those mistakes. Rewind this podcast and check it out, guys, because it's extremely important that you follow what Attorney Matt Bean is saying. And I'm going to touch on green card renewals because I had some questions on that today, and I'm going to I'm going to go over that in length right now. Then we're going to move on to some community news and community events. As you know, it's Crazy Monday tonight, right? So we're going to touch on that, but we want to talk about green card renewals. Okay, guys, so let's just check into that real quickly, and let's see. Oh, before we do that, did you know that the IRS is sharing information with USCIS, that's U.S. Immigration? It's a big deal. This is a game changer, by the way. And let Brad Bernstein tell you about it. Here we go. So go ahead, Brad. Let's hear from you.
The IRS just started sharing information with immigration, and the information they're sharing is people's addresses. In fact, the IRS just gave immigration 700,000 people's addresses from their tax returns. Now, tax returns are supposed to be private, and the government's not allowed to use tax returns to enforce immigration law, or any law for that matter. If you remember the fight over Donald Trump's tax returns, he wouldn't release it to anybody, and no one's allowed to look at it because they are private. Now, the government claims these 700,000 people are criminals and they're using their address information for investigative purposes. Now, do you believe that all 700,000 people are criminals? Tell me what you think in the comments. The IRS just started sharing information with immigration.
So you heard it. So the IRS shared these addresses with USCIS. So now ICE has them. So therefore, if you're not straight and you've been here working undocumented and you've been filing your taxes, they now have your address. This is serious. This is a big deal. So let's also look at green card renewals, and then I'm going to move on to community news. And as you know, it's Crazy Monday night. It's going on right now. So let's get into this final immigration video, and then we'll move on from there into community news, some more local stuff, and international events and local events and local news as well in South Central Jamaica. All right, so we're gonna share the screen on this. So let's see where we are with green card renewals, and then we'll take it from there into the community news. Here we go, guys. Here we go. So let's start this video. Here we go.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Okay, here we go. Let's start this.
Please hit like video. So without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Today, we're diving into the topic green card renewal rules. Just got tougher in 2025. If you're a lawful permanent resident, your green card, Form I-551, is proof of your status, but it needs renewal every 10 years. Recent updates from USCIS have made the process a bit more challenging due to longer wait times, stricter form rules, and increased scrutiny in some cases. But don't worry, we'll explain what's new, how it affects you, and the steps to renew smoothly. Remember, this isn't legal advice. Always check with USCIS or a professional for your situation. What is green card renewal? First, a quick refresher. A green card doesn't expire your permanent residency status. That's lifelong unless abandoned or revoked. Renewal is about updating the physical card using Form I-90 application to replace permanent resident card. You should apply if your card is expiring soon within 6 months, lost, damaged, or has incorrect info. For conditional green cards, like those for marriage or investment, you use Form I-751 or I-829 to remove conditions, not I-90. That's a separate process. Why tougher in 2025? Key updates. So, what's changed in 2025 to make renewals feel tougher? Let's break it down with the latest from official sources. Longer processing times. USCIS has seen a surge in applications, pushing median wait times to around 8 months or more, up from previous years. This backlog means you might wait 1.5 to 12 months for approval, so plan ahead to avoid issues with travel or work. Stricter form and filing rules. You must use the latest edition of Form I-90, dated January 20th, 25. Older versions get rejected. All sections must be fully completed, and payments can't be combined with other forms. If filing by mail, use the exact addresses provided to avoid delays. Online filing via your USCIS account is recommended for faster tracking. Increased scrutiny on residency. In some cases, USCIS is applying stricter adjudication, especially if there's evidence of potential abandonment, like extended time abroad. However, you can't lose your status just from a denial. It requires signing Form I-407 or a judge's order. If denied, you can file a motion to reopen. Fee updates. The base filing fee for I-90 is $455, plus $30 for biometrics, fingerprints, and photo, totaling $485 in many cases. Fees are non-refundable, but waivers are available if you qualify. Note, broader fee changes from HR 1 in July 2025 added costs for other forms, but I-90 remains stable. Check the USCIS fee schedule for your specific situation. A helpful update, extended validity. On the positive side, if your green card expires while waiting, your I-90 receipt notice now extends validity by 36 months, up from 24 months since September 2024. Use this with your expired card as proof for work, travel, or ID. If needed, get an ADIT stamp at a USCIS office for extra verification. These changes stem from USCIS efforts to manage backlogs and ensure accuracy, but they can feel tougher due to the added weight and precision required. How to renew your green card step by step. Here's how to apply without hiccups. Check eligibility and timing. Renew within 6 months of expiration. Use USCIS's online eligibility tool. Gather documents. You'll need your current green card or explanation of lost ID and any name change proof. File online or by mail. Online, create a USCIS account at my.uscis.gov. Upload docs, pay electronically. Mail, send to the specified P.O. box or courier address with check/money order. Biometrics appointment. USCIS may schedule one to 10 to avoid delays. Track your case. Use your USCIS account or eGov to uscis.gov for updates. If expired while waiting, use the receipt notice plus O card. For travel, carry both. If you're abroad, file upon return. For marriage-based conditional cards, file I-751. Instead, recent clarifications emphasize valid marriages must be legally recognized in the origin country. Tips and what if scenarios. Start early to beat backlogs. Update your address immediately if you move. If denied, don't panic. Appeal via motion within 30 days. For urgent needs like job proof, request an ADIT stamp. Avoid common pitfalls. Incomplete forms or wrong addition lead to rejections. If your case is complex, e.g. long absences, consult an attorney through AALA.org. That's the scoop on 2025 Green Card renewal updates. Stay informed and remember, these rules aim to improve the system overall. Links to sources in the description.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's for green card renewals. For those who qualify for citizenship, it's best to file for your citizenship to get rid of all these bubble doubles and finagles and all these problems that you're going through. If you have a problem and you need advice, speak to an immigration specialist, an immigration attorney, to know before you go. So you don't get yourself entangled, I say. So, let's put it this way. I'm gonna drop my numbers down below here. If you need to have if you need to ask any questions along those lines and you don't want to put it in the comment section, contact me and I'll point you in the right direction. So my numbers are down below, my contact information is there. So let me know and let's move on from here. Also, I wanted to address a particular concern, or this is a point of note for those who are overseas and they're thinking they want to come here. Advance your skills, update your education. And if you're here in the United States and you're of a particular age, a younger age, up, go back to school. You have the opportunity. Increase your education. Join a social group. You know what I mean? Increase your knowledge because there's an aging population here in the United States. Really aging population. And according to the Population Reference Bureau in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to put that on my screen here. According to the Population Reference Bureau, let's see here. The current growth of the population ages 65 and older in the United States, driven by large baby boom, the baby boom generation, those born between 1946 and 1964, is unprecedented in U.S. history. This aging of the U.S. population has brought both challenges and opportunities to the economy, infrastructure, and institutions. The demographic shifts are here. The number of Americans age 65 and older is projected to increase from 58 million in 2022 to 82 million by 2050, a 47% increase. And the 65 and older age group shares group's share of the total population is projected to rise from 17% to 23%, guys. That's a big leap. So what I'm looking at here with the cleaning up of immigration here, and they're looking for younger, stronger, vibrant, and educated workforce to replace those who are aging. Look at the big picture. So you have an opportunity. This has to cool down at some point, but if you keep a good record, increase your knowledge, become more valuable to the U.S. economy, then there's a strong chance that you can make it in this new era. But you got to look at it from this perspective. There's a lot here to read, and if you go on the Population Reference Bureau's page, you will see all of this good information. So it's just something I want to bring up to you to give you some hope here. If you understand my meaning, that this is all a design plan. So if you increase your education, keep your record clean, and make the application, that at some point they have to recruit people in to replace those who are aging. The aging population is increasing, so you have less of those people entering the workplace. Even though they're working longer, they can't work for too long because they've aged out. So there's an opportunity for the younger set, but you got to keep your nose clean, get increase your education, become valuable. So that's something for you to think about. And by saying that, let's move into some community news. As you know, we have the passing of a few people in New Forest and Carmer Pen and in my area in South Central Jamaica. So do remember Rakesh's memorial. That's September 28th on Well Road in New Forest. And I'm going to ask each and everyone to support this. Excuse me. Also, we got to remember that Chrissy Boo passed away. Also, her setup, the grave digging had passed on the 17th of August. And the setup is going to be on the 29th of August, and the funeral is going to be on the 30th. So, ladies and gentlemen, please support DJ Kino and his family in this time of bereavement. And this is going to be in Comapen, and the funeral is going to be at the Comapen Church of God of Prophecy in Comapen District in St. Elizabeth. Please be there and support this family, and also Rakesh's memorial. Please be there on Well Road on the 28th of September. Also, this is some vital news for the youngsters in Jamaica who need to be earning. They need a job. They need a career. Here you go. There's the Jamaica Defense Force has an open camp recruitment, and the dates now that are available is tomorrow the 25th, Wednesday the 26th, and also the 28th of August. And this starts at 0700 a.m. This is a.m. time, guys. It's 7 a.m. So you can be an officer or a soldier depending on your qualifications. It's all there in front of you. Check it out. It's a great way to start your life as a youngster if you qualify. And if you qualify, it's great for your resume for the future. It builds a solid foundation for those who are entering the workplace, or they have nothing doing but they qualify. Go ahead and check it out, guys. It's something to think about. And well, you don't have much time to think about it. Just go and sign up. Here we go. We also have the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Harmon Barracks. This is on August 30th. They're going to have their recruitment drive as well. And the qualifications are in front of you. So make the contact. If you qualify, you have nothing doing, this is a great way to start your career. So for the youngsters all over the country of Jamaica, and the parents who are looking things for their youngsters to do, remember in the Jamaica Defense Force and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, it's not just about patrolling and carrying a gun. There's logistics, there's administrative work, there's a lot of stuff there. There's IT, in information technology is big on their list. So if you have engineering skills, you can go in there and you can utilize that or upgrade yourself through the Jamaica Defense Force and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. There's a lot to achieve there. It's not just what patrolling and you can add to the country's security in many ways. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at Crazy Mondays. It's going on right now tonight at Mel's Place. There we go. Crazy Mondays is every night at Ian's Lawn, at Mel's Bar at Ian's Lawn in New Forest District in Manchester. This is a great place to be. Check it out. This is gonna be epic. It's epic every Monday night, but tonight DJ Deshaun and Fire Blacks, they're there. It's going on right now, and you have Team British hanging out there and entertaining everybody. And it's a holiday, guys. Check it out. It's Crazy Mondays is always a wonderful place to go, and the food is amazing. Father Ian, I know you have a mean soup and some jerk and fried chicken and all them thing that you know what I mean. So you have the real deal and festival, yeah, the good thing that you know what I mean. So check it out. Crazy Mondays is always great at Ian's Lawn in New Forest, and we say hats off to Mel. Yeah. So we have a brother here in the United States, who we call Poppy, a good friend of mine. He's over in Jersey and Queens, and he also has a fish fry. This fish fry off of the chin, I'm telling you, this is something to be reckoned with because Poppy thing always popping. And the thing about his fish fry, it loud. It's very, very loud. It's going to be attended by many, many people that I know. And I'm sure you're going to, if you go there, then you're going to see a lot of people that you know. I guarantee you, Poppy thing loud. So let's start by sharing the poster. Um, as I said, Poppy thing up there and it loud. You understand me? So you know why it loud? Check it out. Let's get this. It's working. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah. Up and running. Yeah. So Poppy Earth Strong, a cookout called Jalove Surroundway, is Friday, August 29th, and it's going to be at 241-04 South Conduit Avenue in Queens, New York. It's going to be off the chain. The food is going to be amazing. And I know the chef. It's going to be a big deal. You know what I mean? So this is going to be well attended. It's one of those events that a lot of people from across Jamaica and in the United States are going to link up. This is one of those link up parties that, it's the summertime, it's the festive time. People, and it's the 29th of August, it's the coming to the end of the summer. And it's going to be epic, So let's check out some of the people who have actually said, we're gonna rep for Poppy, and you'll be amazed of some of the artists that have decided to be there and they're repping for him. So let's check this one out first of all, and let's see. Here we go.
Cookout. This is one name. A Poppy Cookout. You talk about the 29th of August, man. Poppy Cookout. I'm birthday. I'm Earth Strong. So come celebrate. It's gonna be great. Come and say it's gonna be great. I love over here. You wait on it. 241-04 South Conduit Avenue, Queens, New York. We are going to hold them up, Poppy time. August 29. August 29.
Okay, now check this out.
I represent for Poppy Dan. In present a cookout style called Jalove Surround Me. And you don't know that at the 29th of August, place to be is 24104 South Conduit Avenue. And you don't know that a Queen. I represent for Poppy Dan. In present a cookout style called Jalove Surround Me. And you don't know that at the 29th of August, place to be is 24104 South Conduit Avenue. And you don't know that a Queens, New York. Just check it out, man. It's not going normal. A big girl away. And you don't know me, myself, Bleggy Boss, I represent. And I me, say Bleggy, roots, hip hop, and reggae. Take up boy girl all when them dead. Poppy Dan, and from way back, from when time you fuck girl be back. Realings family, you're so powerful, like the apple powerful. And if you don't talk about girl, you know about powerful. Check it out, man.
I don't know so Candy Crew. I don't know so Bobby, Brandon, everybody are going to be a girl go there. I don't know thing at 29 at this month. I just so nice. I press a rub up on my teeth like a chicken gravy. I say jump on my cocky and say jump off back. I cook out everything I go there. Be a girl go there, be a liquor go there, and people come out early. I just so nice. I put attention on that.
So Poppy thing loud. Yeah, Poppy thing loud. It loud. It loud. I want to tell you another loud event is gonna be SSMG. You hear about the Miami Body Selector from Bull Savannah in St. Elizabeth, Junction family, SSMG, you remember SSMG? He was on the show, he was here, and you gotta check back on a lot of my previous podcast with SSMG. Just type it into your search bar on YouTube or Facebook, and you'll see SSMG. But he has a cookout and fish fry as well on Friday, August 29th. Big thing in South Florida. This is going to be Fort Lauderdale in Florida, 215 Southwest 27th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. This is going to be big. It's his birthday bash. Say them it this are overloaded. He's the baddest selector in South Florida. That's SSMG come from Bullside, my brethren. You know what I mean? So this is gonna be a big deal, guys. Big up to SSMG every time. One love, man. I tell you. This is gonna be a statement. You know, one of them statement party. Yeah, this is a statement party in South Florida on the 29th of August. This is a big deal. I'm telling you, if you don't know, you know now. You understand? A statement thing, this big, it's huge. You know what I mean? So turn up, guys. Tell your friends, share, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell. And I'm telling you, and Ramsey, yes. Oh yeah, big up Ann Ramsey. Big up yourself, big up yourself. One love and welcome Ann Ramsey to Naram Promotions, the real deal. Yeah, you know. So also we have what you call Gallus Anthem. You remember DJ Kino, his mom passed away. Um, he's having a party after the funeral. That's not before the funeral, guys. So don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? So this was planned way before she passed away. And this event is going to be overloaded as well because of what is going on as well. So DJ Kino, we say condolences. However, this was planned before, so it was something that was prearranged, and it's going to be his events are always massive. It's called Gallus Anthem. It's his birthday celebration. It's going to be a mix of bitter and sweet. So it's going to be well attended, as you can see the lineup, star level, Lethal Steen, you know what I mean, and DJ Sean, and a lot more. They're gonna be there. This is gonna be overloaded, guys. It's Friday, September 26th at Wayne's Bar in Bentown, Comapen District in Manchester. It's borderline St. Elizabeth. Comapen is, it's two sides to it. It's on the border. So this is gonna be a big deal on the 26th of September. So check it out, guys. It's gonna be a big deal. I'm telling you. So we also have another event in Junction, St. Elizabeth, and this is by we call it Impact Events. Now they kind of control Junction when they come on to some real good parties, and they have been doing a great service to the Junction area, and I must tell you that they have done a marvelous job, and this is no different because this is something that the whole entire South and Jamaica and the world knows about. So they call it Book It, our bucket, our book it, whatever you want to call it. Paint the city. And this is on October 26th. We will be talking much more about it as we go along, but this is a big event. If you want a great event that incorporates everybody and you have fun and it's affordable, this is one of them. And the early bird VIP tickets are 4,000 Jamaican dollars. So that's a big deal. So Book It is going to be huge, just like all their events. It's one of those promoters that does a great job at promoting and passing on the message and in putting together a party that is worthy of what they promote. So it's value for money. So check it out, guys. It's going to be a big deal in Junction City. They say now Junction is now a city, right? I tell you, it's an amazing thing. So now we're gonna move to Prospect District, and we have a lady that she has been doing her year to year. I call it her birthday party because it's right around her birthday, and she's well known in the South. Okay, She's one of those people that everybody knows, and she's helped many other people across the board over the years. She's a community activist. She does a lot for her community, and on this December 6th, we call her Muma Sketel. We'll be having her annual party. We call it Ambition Over Hype. Now, this is one of those parties that it's a statement, it's a link up thing, and it's a big deal. It's a year to year thing. Big up to Muma Sketel. So, as usual, she has Tic Tac Sound, the mobile sound system. That's a big deal. It has a large following as well. And we have DJ Splendid. And this is going to be at Time Is Now Car Wash in Prospect District in Manchester. And it's going to be a big deal, guys. You got to turn up, turn out. I have to tell you, because it's all big. It's going to be huge. Every year, it happens every year. I'm on my schedule thing. You understand me? So this is a big deal. Turn up, turn out, and remember, this is a big deal. Big up to Muma Sketel. Here we go. So, also, guys, we have a gentleman who's married to a nurse. Her, Cadian nurse Bartley, Cadian Bartley, has been doing a lot of stuff in the South and the community. That's his wife. What we're talking about is her husband, Randy Bartley, who's a policeman, and his friend Otis. That's Otis Miller, I think it is. Yeah, Otis Miller. They're going to be having an event on. This is Boxing Day. That's a big deal because this is something that also clashes with what my nephew has on Boxing Day. So the two areas of have some distance between them, but it's still in a general area. But we'll say this is called Randy and Otis Original Boxing Day event, the 26th of December, 2025 at Mango Tree Bar in Turner Top District in Manchester. This is a big deal because you have the Rum Fatigue crew and they're well established. So this is going to be well attended. Also, O'Neill Ashmead, that's Treddy, has an event that day also in Sear District in Manchester every year. So Treddy has an event that is well attended also. So it's going to be two huge events. So, but big up to Randy and Otis. Big up yourself every time. Well done. So talking about that, we also got to big up Treddy's brother in the UK. He has that's Steve Ashmead. That's my nephew again. He has a radio show that is now, it should be up and running, hitting the airwaves. But you can check it out online. He's back on the radio, as far as I know. It's called the Traffic Jam Show on passionradiouk.com. That's Asher D Radio. So big up to Asher D back on the radio. We say hats off to him. We'll see whether or not we can collaborate, and I can be on his show and he can be on my show as well, so that we can share the airwaves. Now we're closing the show now, guys. So we're coming down to the meager end. So also we gotta remember Misha. Misha from here, right spot. Always finding, always big up to Misha every time the right spot. And she's a fun girl. Yeah, big up to Misha every time, you know. So, you know, the right spot is in Sear District in Manchester. So you gotta check it out, guys. It's a beautiful place. It's near the Mystic Inn, and you gotta figure it out. Just go there and check out Misha at the right spot. If you don't know where it's at, look at your screen. I'm gonna put that up right now, so you can find it. You know what I mean? So that's the right spot. That's what it looks like. So big up to Misha every time. You go, girl. And we gotta say also, check out Top Rock Bar and Grill. It is a beautiful place in Prospect District for your seafood. If you don't want to be on the beach, check out Top Rock. Top Rock is doing a lot of rocking. I can tell you, they rock the boat up there with at Top Rock Bar and Grill. That's my brethren, Mr. Billings. He also has an auto store, and he does fabrication of parts also. So you know you gotta check him out, and I'll put one of his stuff up here so you can see what Top Rock is all about. There's a telephone number. I'm gonna send that up right now, so you can call and order your food. They got great seafood. As I said, he has a metal fabrication company that he can build virtually almost anything. But they have this Top Rock Bar and Grill that you got to check out. And also remember, guys, that while you're in the South Central of Jamaica, you remember my place? Hmm? Yeah, the Mystic Inn. So you got to check out the Mystic Inn when you're in South Central Jamaica. That's my place. It's a great place to hang out and have fun. So don't whenever you're going, you hit gutters and you're heading out towards Alligator Pond. Always remember the Mystic Inn is at your disposal, guys. So you can come in, have fun, and you can, you know, just hang out. It's a great place to hang out and have fun. So it is. If you don't know what it looks like, here we go. That's the Mystic Inn right there. And if you don't know where to find it, just type it into your Google Maps. You can put in RAMP Limited. You can put in the Mystic Inn. You type it into to Google Maps, and you'll find it. And it's easy to find, guys. So it's in your Google Maps. So it's not too hard to find. You will be navigated there. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the show tonight. It was a very great show tonight. I must say thank you, Ann Ramsey, and everybody who chimed in. So always remember, pray when you're going out, pray when you're coming in. And always remember, God is in control. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you at the next show. And we say God bless you. And we'll see you again very, very soon. Naram Promotions is at you.